Hi everyone, it's Jo Carter. Welcome to my October reading wrap up. As you can see, if you've been watching my videos for a while, I have a bit of a different setting right now. Some of my bookshelves have books, some of them don't. I've stuck this little toy here, one of the Saddle Club horses, so that you guys have got something more interesting to look at than bare bookshelves. This is my first video since moving into my brand new home, except it's not brand new, we bought it second hand with my partner, so there's lots of books all over the place, and I've filled up half of this shelf. Some of this shelf I've done, I haven't put in my TBR list or anything like that, so I've got a bit of a messy setting, but hopefully I can get the rest cleaned up today or over this weekend, and I can do a bit of a bookshelf tour, which I've never done before, but I think it'll be fun. I've changed the way that I organise my books. They're in genre now instead of how I used to have them, but we'll do more on that later, hopefully. In October this year, I read a total of 3 books. The first being Silver Wattle by Belinda Alexandra. I'll just read the back of the book for you because there's it's part of the reason why I only gave it a 3.5 star rating on Goodreads. In fear for their lives after the sudden death of their mother, Adela and Clara must flee Prague to find refuge with their uncle in Australia. There, Adela becomes a film director at a time when the local industry is starting to feel the competition from Hollywood. But while success is imminent, the issues of family and an impossible love are never far away. And ultimately, dreams of the silver screen must compete with the bonds of a lifetime. So that was the blurb of Silver Wattle. Basically, I enjoyed Belinda's writing and I enjoyed the majority of the book, but at the end of it, I wanted more from it. As per usual, I picked the losing side of the love triangle, and the losing side for me felt like he just became a plot device, and I was really upset with how the character made a mess of her love life, and I just got over this book to the point where I'm actually going to unhaul it, because even though I really enjoyed it, and I may read more by Belinda Alexandra, but this book I don't want to keep it because I'm really upset with how the outcome was, and I didn't think it did justice to the character. The reason I wanted more from this book is I wanted more with the film industry. I feel like the industry was just a backdrop for the romance, and one of the characters who is in the American film industry and helps Adela a lot with the films, he doesn't have any consequences for doing that, for helping an Australian when America's supposed to be coming in and taking over, and I just wanted more of that conflict that it promises on the back of the book, but there isn't really. So overall, yes, 3.5 stars, and I will be unhauling this one. The second book I read in October was Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire by J.K. Rowling. Is it Rowling or Rowling? I'm never quite sure. I gave this one 5 stars. It's the first of the Harry Potter rereads that I've given 5 stars, mostly because it's a lot bigger, so there's a lot more details. I love the world building that JK puts into it. It's amazing. Just being at the World Cup and seeing all the different wizarding families and wizarding children and all that kind of thing was just absolutely amazing, and you can tell that she's thought about this and it's very real for her. But also because there were lots of things in this volume, because it's so big, that I'd either forgotten about and remembered when I started to read them, like Rita Skeeter, or I'd forgotten about them completely, so it was like a new book. There was a few surprises in here and I absolutely really enjoyed it. It gets a lot darker. I'm quite excited to read the rest of the series now, but I'm not, because they're going to end soon and then it's going to be sad because it'll be all over again. And the last book I read in October, I actually finished in November, but I maintain the fact I would have finished it in October if I hadn't been moving, and the main majority of it I read in October, is Misery by Stephen King. I picked this book up for Halloween, even though I sort of class Halloween as more sort of ghosts and goblins and supernatural creatures than just a psychopathic woman, but it was a good quick novel to read, and I didn't want to read anything massive like it before knowing how I would feel about a Stephen King novel. I wasn't scared by it. I definitely enjoyed it, but then I got a bit over it. I don't know whether it's because I took a long time to read the end part because I was moving, but I just got over it. And there was one point where Paul was going through in his head, the main character Paul was going through in his head about how to escape from the psychopathic woman who has him, and I could see a way that he could have, and he didn't take it, and I kind of went, oh, that sort of wrecks it for me. But overall, I wasn't scared with it, but it definitely made it a bit harder to move into my own home because I was expecting the psychopathic lady to be around the corner a few times after I read it. But overall, I think I gave it three stars. I was initially going to give it 4, but I just, I don't think it wasn't up there on enjoyment level with the other 4-star books. And I think it's mostly because I don't think horror is my thing. I don't think this is the first time that I've probably delved into horror. I have read a zombie novel and I quite enjoyed it, even though it was scary. But I don't really know if this kind of horror is going to be my thing. And I don't enjoy watching horror movies, so why would I enjoy reading horror books? I don't even, when I think about that, I'm like, why did I pick it up? Why didn't I read something fun? But it was Halloween, I was in the mood for it. But ultimately, I think I may keep this. I'm going to keep it for now, but I might end up just getting rid of it eventually when I run out of space, because I don't see myself rereading it. So those were my 3 books that I read in October. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll hopefully see you guys next time for either something else in this kind of setting, or a bookshelf tour when I've organised it, or I even have some videos when I was at my mum and dad's place that I haven't put up yet. So I'll hopefully see you guys soon when I get around to editing them. Bye!